Hi, Kelly Morgan here, and I want to welcome you to the More Fun Writing More class that you've signed up for. And I've been leading these classes for over 20 years. If you haven't been in one before, or even if you have, let me tell you what you can expect and what we're doing here. Our objective every time we get together in these labs is for you to be able to create what I call optimal writing experiences for yourself. That's what they call flow. Flow is deep enjoyment, it's pleasure in writing, and it's a state of concentration. And when you're in flow, you forget to judge yourself, you forget to judge your writing, and it's like a state of self-forgetting. When you're in self-forgetting, you have the potential to write at the peak of your abilities. And I'm going to say even beyond your abilities, which is good news for all of us. You remember things that you've forgotten. Writing can even become effortless when you're in flow. In fact, it just does. In flow, the golfer isn't thinking about the golf swing. The dancer isn't trying to remember the steps. Likewise, the writer, you, isn't going to be thinking about what you should write next. And of course, in this class, you're not always going to be in flow. And that's the good news, because when you're not in flow is when some of the learning begins. You're going to have an opportunity to try some new techniques and new things that will help you get in that state of flow. And you can use this not just for writing, but for anything in your class. So, what to expect from the group. Well, let's think of it as a yoga class for writers. Every week you're going to come together with others and you're going to be in the practice of stretching your writing limbs. And some of you have more writing skills than others, but really it's not going to matter what your level of experience is. There's going to be some good days of writing and there's going to be some bad days of writing. And if you do take yoga, you know on a bad day, your head can really go crazy and start telling you all kinds of things. Whereas on a good day of yoga, you can lose track of time, everything moves, it just feels good, right? So everything is easier in a good day of flow, whether in writing class, yoga class, or if you're out on the golf course. So as in a yoga class, though, we're going to learn more about writing by just writing. It's being in the practice of writing. And in the practice of writing, you're going to experience resistance. Your inner critic may yell at you. Your perfectionist might kick your butt. Your mind might go blank, but I don't want you to worry. I'm going to give you some creative writing tools and improvisational exercises. And the more you do this practice of writing, the more you will be able to create optimal writing experiences. So, a few words about how you should prepare for class. First, find a quiet place in your house or office. Materials, pen, journal or notebook paper, water. Please don't bring in the computer distractions. I recommend turning off Facebook and email. And if you have kids or people in your house, you might want to hang a do not disturb sign on your door. So, every time I give you something to write, I'll give you a prompt. Your job is going to be, your first guideline is to just keep that hand moving across the blank page no matter what. And if you don't know what to write what is true for you in that moment. And that moment, if you don't know what to write, it might just be, I don't know what to write. That's what you would write in your journal. Let's say you're in the middle of writing and your head say, man, that sucks. You shouldn't write that. Well, write that. And then just go back to what you were writing, the topic that you're writing on. The first guideline for realizing flow in your writing practice then is keep your hand moving across the page no matter what. Second, try not to cross things out when you're writing. I can't say I always do that, but just try not to. And really, do not go back and read what you've written. I've seen this stop more people than anything else. And don't worry if you can about spelling, punctuation, or grammar. Do try to write legibly, because You're going to have a chance to share what you wrote with the group later, and it is nice if you can read what you wrote. And always let yourself, the idea is going to be to let yourself go, to just lose control, to try not to censor yourself. You don't have to be logical. And if you're afraid to write about something, I'm going to say write about it anyway. And don't let the idea that you're going to read it out loud later stop you. You can always skip over that part when you do read out loud. No matter what, reading what you've written out loud can be very scary. But I want you to be assured we do not critique writing. This is a generative process, and that's too early in your creative writing process to critique. So instead, what we're going to do is we're going to reflect what we heard back to you as if we're mirrors. And we're going to reflect back what I call the Velcro images. That's what was memorable and what captivated us. Other feedback, I may ask writers in the group if they have any questions, things they want to know more about, or things they would like you to write more about. I'm going to suggest that when people are giving you feedback, just take a breath, sit back, and listen, take it in, maybe take a couple notes. If you talk while other people are giving this feedback to you, you're going to miss some really valuable stuff that can help you write more later. Everything we do in this class is to help you generate more writing, better writing. And if you're writing a novel, screenplay, or memoir or whatever, this is a great way to put together that first draft. If you're writing lyrics or poetry, this is a great way to let things surprise you. It's a great way to find your story if you don't know what that is. The point is, in flow, you will be able to hear your own inner guidance, and your own inner guidance will start to lead you and guide you to places that you wouldn't know how to go to otherwise. It's pretty cool. And I know a lot of you have experienced that out there, and I'm just going to invite you to come and experience more of it. We're going to do something to help you get relaxed on the first night, and then we're going to write. So see you soon.